I hope you realize the show is starting and your conversation is inappropriate.
Listen.
No Pants Friday. No Pants Friday. No Pants. No Pants. No Pants Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you saying something?
Yeah, I was just saying that I look like all I have is boob in this view here.
No Pants Friday. No Pants Friday. No Pants. No.
I'm sorry. What?
No Pants Friday.
Okay, say it just one more time. What were you saying?
Nothing, dear.
No Pants Friday. No Pants Friday. No Pants. No Pants. No Pants Friday.
Yay! It's Friday. That means it's No Pants Friday, everybody.
Why did you say it like that?
It's No Pants Friday, everybody.
It's like, you're like
Such
a host
a
on a
dork.
children's show right now. Hi, everybody.
Next, I'm going to give you clues, and everyone's going to go around their house. And I don't know what I was going to say after that.
You've never seen Blue's Clues?
No, I haven't. Pretty much no. Anyway, guys, it is Friday. We've got Lorna here once again. If you didn't watch our last show, Lorna is visiting us from Washington, and we went crazy sourcing yesterday, and we've been working and hanging out and having a good time. And so today, for No Pants Friday, she's here with us. Although technically, I mean, she's wearing cutoff jean shorts. That's kind of pants. You're sort of okay because you're wearing a skirt, so it's kind of not pants, but still not quite no pants. I'm really the only one who's fulfilling the spirit of No Pants Friday. Just saying.
Sorry.
I'm better than all of you.
Clearly. Lorna feels shame. Look at her. She's like,
I'm just reading the chat. No shower Friday for Teresa, she says.
thankfully, this is not smell-o-vision. And we can only see Teresa's name in the chat. We're not close enough to get close.
Hey, everybody. It's hello, everybody. Very happy to have you here. We already have a bunch of people here. Everybody's checking in with their pants status. We've got no pants. We've got technically no pants. We've got, I'm sure we probably have some yoga pants out there, which are sort of okay. You know, whatever.
Keep your pants on if you're at work, I suppose.
Teresa says she smells like a rose. Apparently, she smells like a rotten rose. Happy No Pants Friday, Heather. Yeah, see, Linda's got jammy pants, which are acceptable. Those are acceptable.
All right.
Kathy is checking in with no pants. Kathy, thank you very much. My imaginary hat is tipped to you.
Grammy Margaret from Ohio caught us live.
Maybe it's Grammy. Is it Grammy or Grammy? I don't know.
I'm going to go with Grammy.
Okay. Is that a little wave or is that a clap? Those wave hands or clap hands?
I can't really tell.
I think the clap hands. Clap hands.
Yeah, Teresa says she doesn't do No Pants Friday, just No Shower Friday. So,
well, all right.
It's a little weird.
Whatever.
It's a little weird, but I am the one running around with no pants on, so I guess I can't really judge, right? Pretty much.
Dana's definitely not wearing pants.
Good. Good. I appreciate you, Dana.
Dana, I want to see you.
Dana, I appreciate your dedication to no pants. And please tell Johnny we love his theme song, which is why I play it at least 3 times when possible. Gigi also wants to get naked, but their dad's here, so that's probably inappropriate. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that you
can keep your pants on.
That you are showing good judgment right now by not taking the pants off. Teresa says no pants is weirder than no shower. I disagree. I
don't know. You live in Arizona. It's pretty hot and sweaty there too. So
yeah. I mean, this one over here, she's pretty much had to. She's just had to like basically give up to the fact that like I'm never gonna wear pants when I'm at home, and she just knows that that's kind of
people that come and visit us. They just know you're gonna run into Katie with no pants on.
Well, I mean, I put pants on for some people, but personally, I think you should feel special if I don't put pants on when you come over. Like Danny comes over, no pants.
When I'm here, no pants.
Pretty much. When Derek Big Fish comes over, no pants. You know. I will usually put pants on if somebody knocks on the door and I have to answer it.
Occasionally.
It's hot here. I wouldn't, if I lived here, I wouldn't wear no pants.
Yeah, pretty much. Dana wants us to come to the dive bar tonight. We can't, Dana. We already have something going on. We have a party, a birthday party to go to. Yeah, too many things to do. Too many things to do. Lori says hello from New York. Woo, woo, woo. Anyway, guys, so it is No Pants Friday, which basically all that means is it's kind of like Casual Friday. Our other
Super
shows.
casual Friday. I'm pretty sure offices don't think no pants is what they mean by casual.
Real
Friday.
casual. In my office, this is what you do on Casual Friday. You take your pants off, okay? Them's the rules. Anyway,
What in the heck are you drinking?
Frozen tea.
You put it in the freezer?
Yeah.
It's not liquid, it's like solid. She's drinking.
It's like frozen.
No, I put it outside to melt, and it's now all like nice and
Slushy.
So you freeze it, and then you melt it, and then you freeze it, and then you like suckle on it.
Ask me anything. Ed asked a serious question. Ed asked.
Oh, do I like balloons? I do like balloons. I especially like I like the ones with helium in them and you make your voice all silly. Because I know you guys think I'm just like this really super serious person, but sometimes I like to be a little silly. I like to have silly voices, and I can do my own silly voices, but sometimes I like a little help. Sometimes I like a little help. Just stop. Just stop.
Well, it is an Ask Me Anything Friday, so
Yes.
that means ask us anything.
Yeah, because basically
So-
on Sundays it's like we have our live hall show, and then Wednesdays is our Boss Up and List show. So they all kind of have like, to a certain degree, like an agenda schedule around them. Friday it's like whatever, we're taking our pants off. Ask us anything, personal, work related, reselling related, whatever. We'll answer. We'll try.
eBay related.
Yeah,
anything
Etsy,
like
whatever.
Yeah. And Teresa's going to start us off. What's your favorite piece of clothing that you own or owned? You can start with that.
I can start. No, I gotta think about it. Some of the things.
For me, owned or own, I have a couple of really nice pinup rockabilly dresses that I really love as far as clothing. It's pretty much.
That was like the most exciting thing.
I know. I'm sorry.
Lorna, how about you?
It's a weird question. I don't know.
All right, so you keep thinking.
No.
You keep thinking.
Nope.
Nothing.
No.
Nothing.
I
No.
think your Doc Martens.
Well, yeah, I would say my Doc Martens right now are probably my favorite. Although this T-shirt that I got yesterday is my new favorite
yeah.
T-shirt. Mo
That's
Honey,
cute.
Mo Problems. He's wearing a little
Coochie
Coogee sweater. And he's got like a fistful of $100 bills. I love it. I'll go back in time to when I was a kid. I grew up thrifting because my family, my grandma, my parents, my mom, my sister, we all like to thrift. And I went through a phase where I thought polo shirts from fast food restaurants were like I had my own idea of like what was cool. And so I had a Burger King one, I had a McDonald's one, and I had a Taco Bell one. And I would wear those, and I thought which is funny because Wade just sold, was it a Chipotle or it was some restaurant shirt. Like people think it's cool again, apparently.
I think if we go back to when we were kids.
Yeah, wait a second. I have to address the super chat.
Oh,
okay. Heather just hooked us up with a super chat for all the informative vids and super chat fun. So I'm gonna give you old school super chat. I got a couple of them in my pocket, but I'm gonna go old school and go super chat, we're super chatty, yow. Bing. I appreciate it. All right, go ahead.
I think if I go to like my favorite thing I've ever owned, I think was my acid wash denim jean jacket with the white leather fringe that I had in the 80s. I think that was probably
that's so you.
6th or 7th grade. So it was like 87-ish, maybe even as late as 88, but I think it was 87-ish. I begged and begged and begged and begged and begged to get one for Christmas. I was a huge like hairband rocker fan.
Yeah.
I still am. I guess you never outgrow that stuff. And I loved that jacket. I wore the heck out of that thing for like years. So
I can see that.
When I was in grade school, I've always had my own idea of what I thought was cool. And when I was in grade school, I went through this phase where I would wear a bandana tied around my thigh. And I need to find it. I have this awesome picture of myself and I'm posing. I've got my hat in my hand and I'm holding a kitten and I have a bandana tied around my
showed me that
leg.
picture.
And I'm standing like a stance where you can tell I think I look like a badass, but I'm holding a kitten and I got my little tie around my leg. It's pretty funny.
Listen,
It's pretty funny.
Teresa is now. I've got 1,000 questions. I need short, concise answers.
Sorry. All right, Kelly, the Ecom Mom Ward. What's the craziest thing you have found? Item that you've thrifted. Craziest thing. Anybody? Anybody?
I mean, I pretty much only find tissues and hard candy and melted chapstick and an occasional tampon, not used.
Oh,
That'd
like
be
just weird
nasty.
stuff.
Just like stuff in purses and pockets. I've never found money.
No.
No. I found a ring, but it wasn't real.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever found anything cool inside of something. Sorry, that's like the most boring answer ever.
Let's see.
Yeah, Heather Exclusive Elegance says find the pic and show it.
Let me see. Scroll up a little bit.
And it says, what is the eBay link? I don't know if you're asking somebody else or if you're asking us for our eBay links, but all that stuff is in the description of this video. So
when was the last time you climbed a tree? Teresa, your questions are great.
What was your question?
Only random.
When was the last time you climbed a tree?
When I was a kid, I used to be really into climbing trees.
Oh, me too.
Like
and
I
I
had
climbed
these
a
giant
tree
trees
not too long ago.
Yeah. But then I got a little bit older, and now I'm not so hot about heights because we used to go swimming at Detroit Lake, and this is in Oregon. And there's this, I think it's just a footbridge, but there's this bridge that goes over the water, and it's pretty high up. And I went one time, like in middle school, and jumped. You could go up and jump off of it into the lake, and it was so high up that there was time for you to feel your body accelerating down to the water. And let me tell you, I had no problem jumping off the first time. But once I felt that, I hated that feeling of accelerating. And I went up to go try it again, and I couldn't make myself jump off. And I'm like, yeah, bungee jumping, no thank you.
No.
Jumping out of an airplane, no thank you. I already know.
Never.
I do not like that feeling. So I do not. And people who are like, oh, you have to like face your fears. And I'm like, I don't think I need to face my fear of jumping out of a freaking airplane. Okay, there's nothing. That's not going to help anything.
I faced my fear by doing the what is it called on Fremont Street? I did the zip lining on Fremont Street, Superman style, and I cried through the majority of it. So I don't need to go any farther than that. We've got quite a few questions.
Yeah.
Here. Let's keep them like we had to be a little bit more concise for sure.
No.
So, well, you can have a 10-minute
want.
tangent on every question.
Absolutely not going to.
Okay, so let's see.
Now, ziplining. Okay, Christiane, ziplining I would do. I don't like the free fall. That's my whole thing. Free fall.
Katie, Christiane asked, do you have any tattoos, Katie?
Yeah, I have one super lame tattoo that I got when I was 19. It's just like a little tribal thing on my back. So I want to get more. I actually do want to get some cool tattoos, but
Heather Exclusive Elegance asked, how do you do in sports and racing t-shirts and sweatshirts? You got me buying all sorts of shirts to sell.
Well, as far as just sports stuff goes, mostly just vintage, and it does pretty well. It doesn't sell for like $1 bazillion, but like t-shirts, good sports t-shirt, $30. Racing stuff, it depends on what it is, but a lot of racing stuff can do really well. It's so hard it's hard to answer that question. I'm trying to do it quickly.
Yeah, well, no, Karen asked a question too that's similar. Do you have a sale category or a sell category, like local vintage tees are 15, national sports related tees 25? She's trying to price hers accordingly. She does comps, but sometimes they're too low. I don't. I mean, Katie's a little bit more uniform with some of her pricing than I am. Not specific categories for t-shirts. I just have them in just t-shirts.
Most of my t-shirts I price at, I've changed my pricing since they changed the rules around having, doing sales. You have to wait 14 days to do a sale. So now I price all my t-shirts mostly at $29.99. If it's something that I think can go for more, I'll go $35.99. Or if it's something like really special, I mean, I've sold t-shirts for as much as $250. But I would say my baseline is $29.99 for most vintage t-shirts. If it's something really special, like it's whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I do it.
What time of day do you feel is your best time for listing? I think we all list all times of the day, every day of the week. So your best time for listing is whenever you're sitting down to list. I mean, it used to be that there was some sort of algorithm and auctions used to sell best when they ended on you know, certain times on a Sunday night. There used to be a lot of theory regarding that type of stuff. I think, if you're listing and selling your items worldwide to a worldwide audience, it's really a different time everywhere. So I don't think it really matters much.
Yeah. Rosie's Closet says, I'm not on Facebook yet. Can you send me info about the meetup? Okay, so we were talking. You need to post something in Boss. We need to figure out what we're doing because we're talking about Monday. We're probably doing lunch, right?
Monday,
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock at lunch. Send Katie or I a message through here.
My email is in the description of this video, so just send me an email. We'll figure out. So
I will tell you where it's going to be. I'm not going to just announce it here. I'll announce it in the Facebook group. But yeah,
if you send me an email, I'll get back to you and let you know.
It's going to be here in Henderson. We've had a couple of lunches there before. It seems to work out. It doesn't matter how many people we have. They have a big area. So if we want to add people, more people show up than we expect. Yeah, it'll work. So
Karen wants to know how we met Lorna. We met Lorna through Facebook. I actually met both of them through Facebook, just through eBay groups and stuff like that. And so I've known them both. Well, I knew Lorna a little bit more, but not for much longer. I met them both in person this last year. Lorna, I met a couple weeks before Open last year, and then again at Open. Vicky at Open last year. But yeah, Facebook. So basically through the online community, just like you guys right now. So yeah. Hey, Amanda Franklin, what up?
All right, so let's see. You're closer to where they are right now. So,
well, I think Teresa has a good question. What takes up too much of your time? What takes up too much of your time?
You.
Me? What?
Oh, I could have the same answer, I suppose.
Rude.
No, probably. Well, in recent events, the subcategory issue, but managing that inventory. That's what's taking up most of my time now.
Yeah,
just doing one by one because I'm going through one item at a time.
Well, and here's the thing: you are going through the process of like completely reorganize your inventory and how you store it, so you're able to find it more easily. And you're here visiting, and your boyfriend Pat has been. You've already had like a couple of problems where he hasn't been able to find stuff.
Like 2 items he can't find at all, and he's going nuts. So,
and I'm assuming it's stuff that has not had.
It hasn't
been placed yet.
Yeah, I haven't placed it yet. So that just shows me I really, really have to get all of this under control.
Yeah.
And every day I work at it, every single day.
Yeah.
Even if I could just get one bin done, because I'm not by myself. I have to do all the photos and list everything, and I try to get at least 10 listings up a day. And I've already done 11 today. And how long did that take? Like
an hour, if that.
A little bit longer. I mean, photoing and everything. But still, like, and then the dog, and then the house chores, and, you can only fit in so much.
I think mine is just photographs. Photographs take up a little bit too much of my time if I'm doing the photographs.
I'm probably the fastest at that.
That's the part I like the least. I hate taking photos, and like people say, if you have the ability to do so, you find the thing that you hate to do the most, or you dislike to do the most, and you have someone else do it for you.
I wouldn't mind paying somebody else to take my pictures, but the only problem is
you are very picky.
Is that I'm super picky, and I like the way my pictures look a lot, and so I would need to find somebody who can do as good, if not better.
What job would I be terrible at, or any of us would be terrible at? For me, it would be waitress.
Yeah, I love that.
I could not, have not, and would not ever be a waitress because I hate people too much. I can honestly, I'd be fine with someone who is, nice people, but honestly, I see so many people treat servers horribly that I just don't have the patience for that. I would be night one. I would be telling somebody off and dumping a drink on them, and I know I couldn't do it. So I give a lot of credit. I am never rude to wait staff. I give a lot of credit to somebody that does that for a living, and I know lots of people that have waitressing and bartending and that kind of thing. Nope. Couldn't do it.
Yep. Violet Lemon, what's up?
Oh, I haven't seen her in a while. I hope you're doing well. I've been thinking about you and your health.
How's it going? Good to see you here. Jerry wants to know, do you like fishing? You know what? I've always enjoyed when I've gone fishing, because like I used to go occasionally with my grandpa when I was a kid, and very rarely with my dad. I've always had fun doing it. I can't even tell you the last time I went fishing. So
same here.
But if I had an opportunity to go, I'd probably be into it. So
well,
it's
that's
fun.
why
you have a friend.
that has offered to take you.
All right, there we go.
Let me see. How do you pay for shipping on FitShipper? Debit card or PayPal? I don't use FitShipper, so
yeah, she doesn't use FitShipper.
I use Pirate Ship, and I use my PayPal debit card.
Yeah, on FitShipper, you actually have to connect. There's like a different there's a different site that does the actual payment stuff. And so there's like a process you go through. You can connect it to your PayPal. So it's connected to my PayPal, and it automatically takes the money out of there. So
did we score anything at the Walgreens toy clearance? I don't think any of us were aware of it. No, we didn't go to any Walgreens.
And I don't do toy stuff, so yeah.
Let's see. What's your favorite drink? For me, it's coffee or Diet Pepsi.
Yeah.
Dunkin'
Somebody
Donuts
else asked,
coffee.
was it Cami or Cami? Oh, I think Cami. Who loves coffee the most? And have you ever found Hang 10 t-shirts from the 70s? So I only go back to that question because I would say my favorite drink, or one of them anyway, is coffee. And I would say I love coffee the most. You like coffee.
Yeah, I need coffee and I like coffee, but I'm not a coffee connoisseur.
But I
like she is.
love coffee, and I'm very picky about my coffee. Of course, you're really picky about your coffee too. You're just super picky about having gross, watery, weak-ass coffee.
I like McDonald's coffee.
So
She
we're
likes to
super-
tie a string around a coffee bean and dip it in some hot water for 2 seconds, and then she's good to go. And that's disgusting.
I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but I like Dunkin' Donuts coffee made on the East Coast. There's something about the way that it's made here. It doesn't taste the same. It has to do with the water or the filtration system or something. I'm not sure, because back east, we drink water out of the faucet. Our water is filtered and it's good. And it's you can't drink water out of the faucet here. So, I mean, you can. It's not going to kill you or anything. It just doesn't taste good. It's very hard. So, yeah.
I lived in Brooklyn for 2 years. Dunkin' Donuts there is gross too.
And then Cammy's asked a few times, has anyone ever found Hang 10 t-shirts, or do you remember them? I haven't found any, but I do remember the brand. Not necessarily from the 70s, but early 80s. 70s, I was a little bit younger. But I do remember the brand. I don't recall if I've ever found any or not.
I haven't found any. So Kara wants to know, I'm not going to answer this question because, so you're asking about opting into the payment program, why or why not? I'm not going to be, but like Teresa is, and I know some other people that are. Teresa's actually going to be on the Boss Up and List show on Wednesday, specifically to talk about the payment program, because they're doing, I think, pre-registration now or very soon. And so we're going to talk about it and get more into detail about it. But for me, it's just not the best fit, and I'll explain that more on Wednesday. But it's just the beta program right now. So it'll be great for the people who are testing it out, who have the right qualifications for it. But
there's a question here that says from Sachiku 2024. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. First time here from Colorado. Just found your videos yesterday. Used to do DS domination a few years ago. Want to get back into it. Any videos on starting out? I don't know what DS domination is.
no idea.
Sorry, I don't know what you mean by that. If you want to clarify, maybe.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Let's see.
Piece 3601, have you noticed eBay discrepancy on some accepted offers shows up as free shipping on buyer's end, not yours? You know, I've heard people talking about that. I've never had that happen to me. However, I have free shipping on everything already, so I have not seen any issues around that. But like I said, I have heard of it before. And Christiane, yeah, I noticed that the eBay sign-in was different as of last night. And I know Vicky just noticed it recently. Morning. They just changed the way it looks visually a little bit.
Oh, DS drop shipping. I'm sorry, I didn't know what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
I've never done drop shipping.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time, and to be quite honest with you, if anyone is going to drop ship with you, unless you have an exclusivity agreement and your margins are high, it's really not worth it. And here's why. If someone is going to do a drop shipping agreement with you and it's not exclusive, then they'll be doing it with anybody else as well. Yeah. And you're just going to be fighting each other to race to the bottom to actually get the sales, first of all. So there's not going to be much of a profit margin there, because you're just going to keep undercutting each other. People do it all the time on Amazon. They also do it all the time on eBay. Secondly, drop shipping makes you not responsible for how quickly the item gets out, or the condition that it gets to someone else, or if it is the exact item and quality that you're purporting it to be. You're on the hook for all of that, yet you don't have your hands on the item itself. So while I understand people that sell on Amazon, by all means, you're shipping your items to Amazon, you know what's going there. You look at it before it's being put in stock on Amazon, so you know what it is. And you're just allowing them to ship for you and store the items. I personally wouldn't do drop shipping because of that reason.
Yeah. Tim Taylor, my views are not showing up again today. Are yours? Try refreshing the page because
mine are gone again as well.
Have you tried? Okay, so
today.
Well, it just showed I was doing something last night and they were gone, and I hit refresh and they were there. So just try refreshing the page and see if that works. I mean, it really doesn't mean anything. The views are there. It's just not showing.
People are still seeing your stuff. It's just not.
Yeah, it's just not showing. So really, just try refreshing it once or twice and see if they come back. And it should be fine.
They're definitely they are gone today though for me as well. So I just noticed it when I was doing some listing right before the show, Tim.
But did you refresh?
I guess I refreshed because I had just gotten onto the page.
All right. And somebody asked a very important question. Emily Lully said, when facing the ceiling, which side of the bed do you sleep on? I am on the left. However, my entire life, and in every relationship I've ever been in, I have been on the right. But you guys, I love this little lady so much. I made that ultimate sacrifice. And I gave up the right side of the bed.
I can't. I'm on the right.
Let me tell you, I never ever thought I would meet somebody.
Giving up.
I've never thought I would meet somebody who would make me be willing to give up my side of the bed.
That's true love.
It is. It's true love. I knew she was the one, but it was hard. I'll tell you, it was hard. Seriously, my entire life, and even when I would sleep alone, I would always be on the right side of the bed. So. That's an important question.
That's a good question.
I've seen this question a couple of times.
Which one?
How many items do you sell in a week?
That's a tough question. It just depends. When things are going well, because my sales are down a little bit. They're actually starting to pick up. Like I had 10 items I shipped out today since yesterday, and now I think I have 2 or 3 items that are already ready to ship out.
Depends on the time of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, 50 to 75 during the slow times as far as number, 50 to 75 a week. When it's busy, fourth quarter, if it's busy, if it cranks the way it should, I've shipped out as many as 120 or so a week.
Yeah.
I would have to say average 40 for me. It's been pretty slow right now.
Yeah.
But
I would say even for me, like because when I tend to have my prices higher and I sell less items, I've kind of like wavered around 200 a month. But yeah, during fourth quarter that does go up. But again, that's because we focus more on like higher priced, higher average sale prices rather than volume. But it's definitely been less for me in the last like couple of months.
AMA, what age do you wish you could permanently be? That's a good question.
That's tough.
Here's the thing. I'm one of those people that I don't wish to be younger because I think that would wipe out the experiences that I've had. And I do think that every single thing that happens to you in your life makes you the person that you are. But that being said, I wish I knew everything I know now, but was maybe like 30. I'd maybe like to be maybe 10 years younger than I am. I'm 43. 30 to 35 for me were like ideal.
Mine was 28. My favorite years, age 28, had the most energy. I love that year. Like,
I've definitely have had years and times in my life that were better. Like my 20s were really hard, but I've yet to be an age where I'm like, I wish I was younger again. So I wish I was younger. Like if you wanted the real, I wish I was younger because I wish that I had met Katie when I was younger so that we had more time. Yeah. If that makes sense. I know, don't go bleh.
No, I was gonna say instead of 50 years, you'd have 75 years.
Yeah. So but as far as how I felt health wise and all that kind of stuff, I felt better last year than I've probably ever had in my life healthy wise. So that just goes to show you I need to get my fat butt back into the gym working out every day. I felt better.
Well, and I'm sure like at some point I'm gonna get, when I'm 80 years old, yes, I'm sure I'm gonna wish my body was younger. But like I said, I'm 39 right now and I'm looking forward to being 40. Like I've yet to be like, I'm not one of those people who's weird about like aging or anything like that. I'm like, I don't have a desire to go back to my 20s. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm happy with the age I am now. Although, you definitely start to see a difference when you hit 40 and, things start sagging and wrinkles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not loving that, but I'm also one of those people I'm going to try to grow old as gracefully as possible. I'm not looking into doing any plastic surgery and stuff, but not that there's anything wrong with that if it works for you. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with my age. And Lorna's still a puppy.
Yeah.
I'm 1 year younger than her.
Like 2 years younger.
Has my hair been any fun color other than pink? I've done purple streaks in it. It's been pink or some variation of pink for like the past 6 to 7 years or so. But prior to that, it would be different shades of red. So I always had, I want to say for at least the last 13 or 14 years, my hair has been various shades of red, burgundy, and pink. Like I've never done the blue or green or purple, all purple. So it's always been, yeah. And I've settled on in the last 3 years or so, it's always been the same shade of pink because I finally found the right dye that I really like. So,
let's see what I like how Teresa says hashtag AMA for every question. What's the most annoying question that people ask you?
Me, it's got to be my hair. It's about my hair. So it's
I've noticed that.
Literally, like,
Yeah,
you
you get
everywhere
we
you
go.
make your hair hot pink. I don't think you get to be annoyed about people asking you questions about it.
Right. I'm not exactly.
But it is everywhere we go. Like every
Somebody
store.
comments about it, and I believe me, I love that. Don't get me wrong. That's why I keep saying I can never dye my hair a different color because I wouldn't get anywhere near as much attention, and it's usually positive. People always tell me your hair looks great. I love your hair. I love the color. So I get compliments all day long, which I love. But what's annoying is the people that are always asked about, like, how do you do your own hair? How often do you have to keep that up or whatever? Not that it's annoying. It's just, believe me, it's asked me 5 times a day, every single day if I leave my house. So that's kind of an annoying one. But
when I was younger, I haven't had this question in a while, but when I was younger, like I used to get like asked a lot if I wore contacts. And I don't know, it wasn't exactly annoying. It was more like, okay, I'm answering this question for the 50th time. And it's because my eyes are like super, super blue. And I know that they're asking that because the next question is, it's like, why don't you just ask if you wear colored contacts? But they always ask, do you wear contacts? And then my answer immediately is like, I do, but they're not colored because they're going to ask me if I wear blue contacts, which I do not.
Nope. Those are her natural pretty peepers.
I did get a lot when I was a kid. I had very frequently, I would have people say that I had beautiful blue eyes for a boy. Which I was okay with because I didn't mind being called a boy when I was little. Actually, I don't really care now either, but let's see.
I would like my metabolism back from my 20s as well. That's
Me
the one thing I would like.
too.
Yes,
Metabolism?
Kelly, I'm with you on that one.
You know, cross my fingers, knock on wood. I have not noticed any change in my metabolism. The only time I had a change in my metabolism is I was super, super active when I was a kid. I played all the sports in middle school, and I played basketball my freshman year. And I had a really bad experience with the coach at the time, and so I stopped doing basketball and I was doing like drama and stuff like that. And so I went from being like super, super active to not active at all. And my metabolism shifted like when I was around 14 or 15. But I was still eating the same way, which is just like too much and a lot of food and a lot of food, like junk food and stuff like that. And so I gained a lot of weight. And so since that time, like if I want to lose weight, it's relatively easy. Like it's not easy. It's easy in the sense that I just need to change my diet. And I'll lose the weight.
It's easy for her.
And I'll lose the weight. But if I want to eat whatever I want to eat, I'm going to gain weight. So I haven't noticed a shift. I'm sure it'll happen at some point in the next 10 years. I'll have another shift.
It happened for me around 30.
But I'm 39, and it's like if I just eat healthy, I will lose weight. And if I eat crappy, I gain weight. So
yeah, I never had a problem with my weight until I was about 30.
Yeah.
And then it got
Christine says enjoy it while you can. Well, I mean, it's not exactly enjoyable because I do have to I can't have the food I want to eat if I want to lose weight. But so I'm not like one of those people who just like eats whatever they want and stay and like loses weight. Like that's not happening. So
what is something that a ton of people are obsessed with, but you just don't get the point of?
Your hair? Sorry.
Rude. Anyway, things that people are obsessed with you don't get the point of. We were having a conversation yesterday. Like, you don't get the point of like people who buy like action figures or like collectibles and spend tons of money.
Yeah, I don't understand people that spend a ton of money on collectibles. I'm thankful for them. Don't get me wrong. That's one of the great things about selling on eBay is that as I say, there's an ask for every seat. They find somebody is going to want whatever your widget is that you're selling somewhere. It's important to them for some reason. So I'm grateful for it, but I don't understand it necessarily. I don't understand spending like a lot of money to collect like a little action figure or whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure there's tons of things, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Wade, what's up?
Hey, it's Wade's Ventures. What's happening? Barbara Colson, if you could vacation anywhere, where would you go? I'll let you go because I know you have
Italy, Europe, specifically Italy first. I'd like to see all of Europe. I'd like to see all the places, but for me, Italy, Europe, and that's why I think that's what we're going to do. Instead of actually having an expensive wedding, we're going to go to Europe.
Yeah. How about you?
I'd love to go to Spain. It's always been on my bucket. Spain, Greece. We're supposed to go to Ireland next year. That's my boyfriend's like bucket list dream. So we're gonna fulfill that one first, and then we'll go next to like Spain or Greece.
For me, it would be. Here's the thing. I'm totally excited about going to Italy. I'm gonna have tons of fun. Anywhere in Europe, I would enjoy it. But I will say that when I think of going on, if I could go anywhere, I like experiences that are so out of my reality. So like I've been to Southeast Asia multiple times. I'd like to go back to other countries there. I've been to South Korea. I've been to like Seoul. I've been to Hong Kong. I've been to Cambodia a couple times, Nepal. There's just something about going to a country where it is just so different from your experience. And yes, Italy's going to be different, but it's still a westernized culture. And so it's not quite this, like I would love to go to like, places in Africa, like as different as it can be from my reality. That's the kind of stuff that like I'm really drawn to. And after we do Italy, the next trip, I'll probably figure out some way to like force her to go somewhere in Southeast Asia with me. You'll enjoy it. I promise. Maybe I can get you to go to Cambodia. There's this amazing, like, it's technically like they call it a hostel, but you have your own bathroom, you have your own little room, and they have this like amazing, you go up on the roof and there's a pool on the roof and drinks and everything. It's seriously, it's nice. It's really cool. It's really fun. Super affordable. Awesome people. Almost everybody there speaks English. Like it's seriously.
I'm not against going anywhere. The only country that I don't see myself visiting is Australia, and not for any other reason other than the travel time is ridiculous. It's like 15 to 18 hours travel time from here. So for me, that you'd have to like drug me and knock me out to travel that long.
That's a long time.
I would go insane. I couldn't handle it. So that, maybe someday if I'm, we're independently wealthy, that would be, but that's like last on my list. Almost everything else I would go to.
Yeah.
How different were our lives a year ago? That was Teresa's question. Really, Teresa?
Well, I will say today's the 17th. 2 days ago, the 15th of August, that was the first time I ever told you that I loved you and pretty much scared the shit out of you. And so since then, things like basically this week, a year ago, our lives, like people didn't know about it yet, but our lives were kind of exploding. And we were kind of on the precipice of like,
and it was real gross.
It was real gross.
Everything changing completely. You didn't know yet. You were like a few days probably from knowing.
Yeah.
And then everything completely changed. It was really hard at first and super stressful. And there was a lot of negative stuff around it, but also positive stuff at the same time. And it was just really chaotic. And then it's like everything changed from
Everything
there.
was different. Well, for me, everything was different. Everything was different for her. Lorna's pretty much the same. She has a puppy.
I have puppies. I watched the whole journey with these guys, so yeah, that now it's just gross and beautiful and
gross and beautiful. Shut up.
Yeah.
But no, same. Like, yeah, my life is the same. I have a puppy. That's it.
You have awesome friends.
I do have awesome friends, but they're the same friends.
We've just become closer.
Yeah, we've become closer through the last year, especially through everything.
Because this time last year, like we were more like fresh friends.
Yeah.
Kind of new friends.
Let's see. Scroll down a little bit more and see what.
I like this one. Amanda Franklin, she's jumping on the hashtag AMA. What is your hometown known for? Mine is mules. Hometown, what's your hometown known for? I mean, yours is kind of known for, at this point.
Mine is, in the last 15, 16 years, my hometown is known for being the location of the Station nightclub fire, where 100 people died.
Was it known for anything before that?
Prior to that, West Warwick, Rhode Island is actually known for being, it's a mill town. It's known for, it has some of the oldest working mills in the country, and they actually a couple of the mills still exist. Basically, Rhode Island was real well known for textiles and jewelry, and that's pretty much the two products of the state of Rhode Island for, going back to the 1700s. So,
what about hot wieners?
That's a state thing too. But certain types of food, that everybody has certain types of food.
Yeah. What about yours?
My hometown is known for lavender. It's the biggest lavender festival in the U.S. Our only competitor is France. Like, we used to be like #1. Like, we were like, I think we have fallen below France now, but over 1 million people come into our town for 3 days.
Swim? That's crazy.
It's insane. And because I live right in the center of town, it's 2 blocks down from my house. So all day long, buses and people, like over 1 million people come in and walk past my house. And it just ended the weekend we did the fundraiser.
Yeah.
That's why we always do the fundraiser on that weekend, so we can attract people into the show that are from out of town. So it's big.
That's cool.
It brings in the most money for our town. That's like that. Those 3 days is what feeds our town for a year.
And Kara's correct. Necco Company, which just closed down, Vicky, the company that made Necco wafers is from my hometown area.
The most terrible but delicious candy ever. It's like chalky. It's like stale chalky candy, and I love it. I even like the black licorice ones.
I like them too
a
lot. We don't make them anymore.
Nope.
So I'm from Sublimity, which is this little town of like 2,000 people in Oregon, and it's a farming community. It's very residential. There's just farms and houses. There's very few businesses. And so, like, the story is that whoever discovered it, like, stood up over the land and said, "This land is sublime," and so they called it Sublimity. And we have the Sublimity Harvest Festival, which when I was a little kid, the Sublimity Harvest Festival was very small. It was held in the park. The biggest thing was the tractor pull. And like my grandpa used to make cider presses, and my dad would actually sell the cider presses, and we would have a cider press booth at the Harvest Festival. And then it eventually grew, and now we have like the Sublimity Harvest Festival grounds, which if you are anywhere in Oregon, you'll see like big billboards everywhere. They have like rodeos there now, and monster trucks, and a big beer garden. It's kind of ridiculous. Other than that, also we used to have a college, Sublimity College, like in the 1800s or early 1900s, and the Wright brothers, their dad was like the professor there, and so that was like, it's like our little claim to fame and whatnot.
I know that. The other question, Teresa, you got some good questions here. Thanks for keeping this going. What is the one thing do you really want but can't afford? For me, it would be I would love to be able to travel more.
I would totally agree with that, because I'm like, there's nothing, I'm not somebody who like covets stuff and wish I had more. I mean, I certainly would like to have, I don't feel like we're at a place where we're like worry free when it comes to money. And I think that would be nice. But that's pretty much just like a general, like to be able to bring in enough income where you're totally secure.
Right. I would,
but
that would
beyond,
be nice.
But beyond that, there aren't like expensive clothes I wish I had. I don't really care about having like bigger TVs or better car. Or,
we don't care about buying a house.
For the most part, like that, none of that stuff is anything that I like covet or wish that I had more of or envy other people because they have better stuff. So I would say the only thing is just that we had more disposable income to where traveling wasn't something that we had to like really plan out, save up in advance,
right?
Worry about keeping our business going while we're gone, although I'm sure we probably do that anyway. But if it was like not a big deal, just be like, hey, let's go to this country next month and whatnot.
Yeah,
like,
I would love to be able to do that. Neither one of us care much about owning a house. I've owned a home before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in at this point, you know, in our 40s, I don't care if we rent, because here's the thing, you're always going to have a housing payment. So as long as rents are not grossly higher than a mortgage payment, it doesn't really make sense for me to get a mortgage at this point in my life. Because I'm going to be making a housing payment at 70 years old anyway. So
Right.
whether it's rent or owning at this point, it doesn't matter. It's not the same as if when you bought a house at 20 years old, you had a 30-year mortgage and you were paid off by the time your kids were ready to go to college or right after, that kind of thing. So for me, it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Red vines or Twizzlers, Jerry. I've never actually had red vines.
Red vines.
What?
I'm from the East Coast, so East Coast is Twizzlers. They
Well,
don't,
you gotta
they
at
don't
least
even
try.
sell.
You gotta at least try red vines.
Red vines are
Twizzlers,
soft. And
Twizzlers are like, they're like plastic.
Okay,
Yes,
I don't
they're
like.
gross.
First of all, I don't like red licorice.
You have,
So
you
they
don't like red licorice because all you've ever had is Twizzlers and they're disgusting.
But
Now,
I love
if you had
black
red
licorice.
vines,
We should
if you
get
had
some
red
red
vines,
vines.
you would feel differently about it. So we're gonna get some red vines today, guys. We're
We
gonna get
should.
some red vines, and we're maybe I'll do like a live Instagram video. Hey, here's the thing, guys. If you are on Instagram, I actually have. I don't have yours down below, but in the description I have both of our Instagrams down below. Go ahead and follow us because ever since Open in particular, and it's like that was kind of the kick in the pants I needed to be more aware of actively posting to Instagram. So I do stuff every single day. And so you should definitely follow us there. Maybe we'll do a live video later today of this one having
Red vines
for the first time. Because seriously, she doesn't like red licorice, but she's only ever had Twizzler. That's the problem. Oh, what's going on?
Oh.
Susie Beach.
Well, at first, Heather's daughter just asked, why is your hair pink? I couldn't help it. That's okay. Tell her, I don't know how old your daughter is. I've seen pictures. She looks young. It's because I am really close with Princess Poppy, and that's what my little campers call me, Princess Poppy. So she looks young enough to appreciate that comment.
Yeah. Susie Beach says super chat. She's throwing down a request, Aretha Franklin style. Aretha Franklin, rest in peace. So let's do a little SUPERCHAT. That's what it means to me. I'm sorry, Aretha. That's like the worst.
That might be the
I don't
worst
know.
one
That's
yet.
probably the worst. I don't know if it quite fits. SUPERCHAT is super chat to me.
It's terrible.
horrible.
Super chat, super chat,
Horrible.
super chat, super
It's
chat, super chat, super
horrible.
chat. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate it.
Oh God, who is the best cook? I think it depends on what it is. I think we're both good cooks. Katie's actually a really good cook.
So Vicky doesn't really like to cook, but she will cook, and she is a good cook. She kind of likes to stick to what she has, like her things that she likes to make when she does cook. I am much more, I do have like the couple of things that I like to make, but I'm way more into finding cool new recipes.
Right.
I want to like try something different, try something new. So I think that's where we're a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But you're a good cook, and I think I'm a good cook too. So
yeah, I mean, I'll definitely try new recipes, but I'm one of those people that I'm like,
I like to cook.
I probably have, a repertoire of like 50 things, and I tend to go back to like the same 10 or 15.
Yeah.
I'm the same way. It's like 8 things that I make throughout the month.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, Pat cooks.
I mean, I'll go and look stuff up, and I'll, and I will do recipes, and I create things.
I
here
was
and there,
hoping
too,
for some like homemade tacos with those cheese like shells that you make.
How many
Like a
times?
taco salad.
That could
That's a
have
lot of taco stuff.
a lot of tacos.
That's a lot of tacos.
The tacos yesterday weren't that good.
I
Oh,
know,
see,
because we have to go taco taco.
You
What?
make me feel like a super chat woman. You
Oh.
could have, she could have gone that way.
Oh, nice
see.
one.
We'll see.
Maybe if there's another one, we'll go that way.
We'll see. Let's see, there was something else. Yeah, Piece 3601, never had red vines, East Coast here. Yeah, we're used to like you get the big red vine tub.
They don't sell them.
I know, but I'm just saying that's what we grew up with.
Oh,
And
Pat has
they're
one.
so good.
On his desk, like
So
he
good.
has to have it all the time.
And I like mine like a little bit more stale, if that makes sense. Like I don't like any kind of gummy candy or licorice candy or something like that. It's like if it's too fresh, it's like I like it a little chewy because you know how like it once you've had it open for a little while, it's like chewier.
I like Twizzlers, black licorice Twizzlers. I like them when they're slightly stale, when they're hard. So let's see.
I see Teresa from Costco, red vines in the
Oh,
tub.
God, no. Mm-mm. They just sit there forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't say yuck until you try it. I've had Twizzlers and I hate them. You have not had red vines and you've never even had red licorice.
I have.
Or you had the Twizzler and it was
Twizzlers,
gross,
red
which
licorice.
I will agree with you. It's gross.
This all day, every day, all day.
It's true.
Ooh, and Rose's Closet uses a straw. Hells yeah.
Yes.
Hells yeah.
Yep.
Cheese or chocolate? I think that question was asked a couple times.
Cheese.
So I'm gonna go ahead and answer. If I could only have one, cheese.
Cheese.
I would say because I love ice cream. I do like sweets, especially like after I've had like a good meal. Like I like something sweet. But I would say I'm more about the savory than I am about the sweet.
I don't know if I could choose between the two. I love cheese. I love chocolate. If I had to give up one, I would probably die. I'm not sure which one, but I like chocolate.
Teresa, girls, don't make me come upstairs.
What? Barbara.
What?
Barbara says, "Sing it, Katie, and buy yourself some tacos." Okay, wait. What were the words again?
You make me feel.
You make me feel. You make me feel like a super chat woman.
Okay, that's second best to your
Second best to my spoken word.
Mhm.
All right.
Good one, Barb.
I guess so. There you go. Man, it's tough when I get like the request because that's like I gotta like figure
I
out how
know,
to make it happen.
You're fast on your
Woo!
feet, though.
Woo!
Thanks, Barb.
Thank you, Barb. We appreciate it. We'll definitely eat some tacos.
We will. Tacos won't be today, but tacos maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have tacos tomorrow.
Definitely tacos tomorrow.
Because I mean we can't go more than 36 to 48 hours without tacos. So I'm speaking for myself, strictly for myself.
Are you getting burnt
This
out?
is why I'm
Are
getting
you
thicker.
getting burnt out?
This is
She's
why
not-
I'm gaining weight. I'm getting a little thicker around the middle.
Shut up.
You mean it's having to do with the oatmeal cream cookies? Come on.
Well, that was just yesterday. And tacos.
I can eat tacos every single
Oh
day.
yeah, I could eat tacos every day.
Yeah. It's
she's
just part of
she's
my.
not as crazy about tacos.
They're my favorite food. I just can't eat them every single day.
I can.
That's weird. I think that's weird. That's like saying like, I like air, but I can't breathe every day. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? There's something really wrong with you.
There are lots of great places for tacos in Vegas, Rosie. Lately, we've been on a taco trick.
My favorite. So I've had good tacos at different places. My favorite, hands down, so far is definitely Taco y Taco. Because I love Al Pastor tacos, and it's the place where they'll actually carve it right there. And they do the same thing at the other place that we went to, was it Taco El Gordo or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't taste as good to me. Some people like it better there. I just think Taco y Taco is the best so far that I've had so far.
And I like Taco y Taco probably is my favorite as far as street tacos go. They're not my favorite type of taco. Like my favorite is a good fish taco. And I haven't tried their fish tacos actually. So that's probably, maybe I'll do that tomorrow. But I like Wahoo Tacos, fish tacos. And I really like, there's a Mexican restaurant inside the Silverton Casino called Mi Casa that has probably the best fish tacos I've ever had.
Yeah. See, Teresa
Ooh,
says
fish
Taco
tacos.
El Gordo over Taco y Taco hands down. And so that's just the thing. It's like, it just depends on like how you feel about it. But yeah, I'm all about Taco y Taco. I also love burritos and Roberto's where we went yesterday, although the one we went to was kind of gross. I don't really like their tacos, but their burritos are my favorite. So
What song do you want played at your funeral? That's a good question, Susie. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one and come back to that. Who is more opinionated?
it's tough to say. You're pretty opinionated though. That's the problem, is that we're both super opinionated.
Let me answer this one.
Somebody else has an opinion.
I have an opinion. They're both opinionated. They're very equal to that. I've been telling them the last day and a half, I'm going to separate you two. They are. They're both very strong-minded and very strong opinionated people. So,
but we do it in like somewhat different ways. Like, I just have opinions. She's a micromanager. Like she kind of, but she thinks she knows how.
So are you.
In some ways.
In your ways.
In some ways.
You are very set in your ways.
But if we're traveling somewhere, I'm not telling her how to get the baggage, how to get through the gate, and when to do this, when to pick up that. She is very,
Okay, I'm a lot like that. That's how I travel. Like,
Yeah.
I need to know, like, this, and this.
I'm
Right.
very organized.
And so am I. And I guess what? I've traveled by myself many times. And I'm obsessed with being at the airport 2 hours before the gate, before flight time.
Christiana's right. She can see us being more equal in opinions, but I see Vicky being more willing to let you have your way. You are correct.
That's true.
You are correct. Because I will acquiesce more because I don't want to argue. So I'm like, whatever. Yep, you're right. Yep, you're right.
I've
You're
heard,
right.
yep, you're right, over 100 times in the last few days. So, but it works. I mean, this works. This is perfect.
Liam says, sodas for the tacos, original original gangsta super chat dance. Here we go. Super chat, j'ai super chatte, yeah.
Oh my God.
Allison Big Drip says, Dr. Lorna, let's hear the truth. It's, oh yeah, Christiana, it's definitely about choosing your battles. I hear that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I hear that.
And when it annoys me, I'll tell her.
Mm-hmm. And I tell her?
Oh yeah.
I do.
Very funny. Yeah, we're fine. I mean, and the bottom line is, it's like, it's never like anything that's that big of a deal.
No, and you guys are super playful with everything, like almost every time you do or are very opinionated. So
It's not, we don't really fight.
no.
We don't fight. We'll be like, I guess it's like any couple does. We do this.
Yeah. And if I see that I'm driving her a little too crazy, then I just do my best to make her laugh.
She tones it down.
Well, I was going to say make you laugh.
Remember that one person?
What one person?
The one person watch your own channel.
Oh yeah. So yeah. Whatever. Yeah, Teresa says you guys have fun and are silly with it, so it's not uncomfortable for those around you when you
No, not at all.
No, I hope not. I don't think so.
But yeah, you could ask my sister if I'm opinionated, if I think I'm always right, and she's gonna say, yeah.
Well, she says to me all the time, she'll be like, so, is Katie annoying you yet? Because she's always right.
But I'm sorry. I'm sorry that 95% of the time I am correct.
Yes. Just ask her.
Oh wait, Hip Flippin' Mama just did a super chat and wants a contemporary dance. Thanks for I'm supposed to be looking out for boxing t-shirts. Contemporary dance. I don't know.
That was your.
No, that's an interpretive.
Oh,
Contemporary is I don't know. Let me come up with what's a song I can do. Super chat, nothing but super chat, nothing but super chat, super chat. Was that like, it was like my Star Wars version? Yeah, don't you remember like Bill Murray when he was like a lounge singer on Saturday Night Live, and it was like Star Wars, nothing but Star Wars. You remember that?
No.
Whatever.
Do the Dougie.
I guess
really? I don't know. We're too old for that crap. I don't even think Katie knows how to do the Dougie.
I don't know how to do.
I can do the Cupid Shuffle. That's about as far back as
as
most current. As
I can do the Roger Rabbit, but I don't really have the space to do that, and I'm not wearing pants.
She'll probably hurt herself.
And I'm a Cabbage Patch. Cabbage Patch. Okay.
blink twice.
Lorna, blink twice if you
This is the Cabbage Patch, right? I'm doing the Cabbage Patch.
You know, if I had pudding, this would be a lot better.
Yeah,
but somebody likes me.
So Teresa was here, and she claimed that she left chocolate pudding for us in the fridge door, and then we went to go find said chocolate pudding, and there was
left it in someone else's refrigerator.
Some other refrigerator has chocolate pudding in it.
Somebody has Teresa's pudding somewhere.
Nuts.
Somebody is enjoying chocolate pudding, and it's not us.
Mm-hmm.
So. I do like chocolate pudding though a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed my 2 weeks.
Ask the most.
I really enjoyed my 2 weeks of recovering from wisdom teeth surgery because all I did was eat chocolate pudding and applesauce with cinnamon for like 2 weeks, and
that
it
sounds
was
yummy.
While taking pain pills and being super high and sleeping and watching TV. So it was pretty awesome.
I would like to have mine out again if that was what happened.
Your wisdom teeth?
Yeah.
I want mine
Teresa
out.
lost my mind in Vegas. Lost your mind in everything you own in Vegas, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Each family finds I'm trying not to laugh too hard in my cubicle, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. You see, Christiana remembers the lounge singer. Nick the Lounge Singer. He was great. When I was little, we used to watch a lot of like old, like we didn't have a TV from when I was about 4 to 11, but at Christmas time, we would rent a TV and a VCR and a whole bunch of a whole bunch of VHS. And we would always get like Gilda Radner and like old Saturday Night Live tapes and stuff. And so I grew, like when I was a kid, I had an appreciation for like old school.
See, I want to see the Gilda
Saturday
Radner
Night-
movie.
Well, is there a Gilda Radner movie?
Yes, there's a movie
Who's
coming out.
playing her?
I can't remember, but I think it's a biography about her, so it's a lot of her stuff.
Interesting. Yeah, she had a really sad life.
I can't
She
wait
had
to see
like
it.
some mental illness issues. Was she like bipolar or something? And she had cancer, and it was all kinds of sad.
What kind of commune did you grow up on? No TV.
I didn't have
Very
TV
religious
either.
family. Her
I
dad
grew up in a
didn't-
very conservative Baptist family, and when I was about 4, my dad suddenly decided that I think that was around when he became a Christian.
television is from the devil.
Here's the thing. My dad came from a Lutheran family. If you go back before then, they were Jewish, but he grew up Lutheran, super religious. He kind of like rejected Christianity when he was like a teenager. And then he married my mom, and she grew up Catholic, but her family wasn't super devout or anything. And so at a certain point when I was about 2 years old, maybe, she started looking for a church to go to. And so she found a church that I grew up in. And when I was like 3, she basically like forced my dad to go to church, and he like angrily finally went. And then he became a Christian, and then he became like an uber hardcore Christian. And when I was 4, he decided that like, I guess TV was bad. And so he got rid of it. And it was so very sad. But I will say, I'm actually glad it happened, because for me, I just read all the time. Like I was obsessed with reading. I read constantly all growing up. And so like,
That's why she's so smart.
by the time when I was in 3rd grade, like when I was in 1st grade, because they didn't really teach us, they weren't like those kind of parents who like taught us to read when we were like 3 years old.
See, that was me.
So when I was in 1st grade, I was like very average. But by the time I was in 3rd grade, I was reading at a 12th grade level, because I just read constantly.
Mhm.
And so I appreciate that, because I feel like it gave me a lot of like critical thinking skills. It gave me like a decent vocabulary, all those
I think
things.
it's the same thing, because she and I are on the same level with that. I think.
Yeah.
I read a lot. I still read a lot. I was the same way reading. We had TV, but we were very restricted of how frequently we could watch it. I got to watch like The Muppet Show and like, stuff like that. So I was reading at 3. I was one of those people. I was reading at 3, and
Well, and then like when I was about 11 is when the Gulf War happened, like 1990. And so then my dad wanted a TV to be able to watch the news. But even then, it's like we couldn't watch TV after school. We could only watch TV on the weekends. And so it was like, and then Saturday was like house cleaning day. And then Sunday was family day, which meant that we couldn't go play with our friends. But my dad would just sit and watch football all day. So we only had one TV. So I really didn't watch a lot.
short and concise answers. Listen, Club Red.
Whatever.
We don't have another 72 hours. It's already an hour here.
Whatever.
I grew up the same. I'm not the same way in a religious family, but like I didn't have TV growing up. My parents just go outside and play, like ride your bikes, build forts,
Go play.
It was really fun.
And we built a house from scratch. So like we lived in a camper for a few years while we were building it, or travel trailer, and we just lived on like play with neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
Susie Beach has a good question. Favorite book? My favorite book. I have a lot of books that I love, but
I know where her
my favorite book is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Hands down, favorite book. My mom used to read to. She read to us a lot when we were little, and so like I grew up on like The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, but A Tree Grows in Brooklyn was my hands down favorite, and I've read that book probably 20 times. The author, her name is like Betty Smith. And like, there's like one other book that I ever found that she wrote, and it wasn't anything any good. It was like she had that one book in her that was.
That was one of my first questions to her when we first started talking, was what her favorite book was, and she told me the same story. So I had to go and read the book, and that was actually the first gift I ever bought her. Was a vintage edition.
It's like first edition or something like that.
Yeah, first edition of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I love it.
And then my favorite books, actually probably from the same time frame, was when I was a kid, were like I loved like C.S. Lewis, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I grew up on those two.
I loved that whole series, and I really loved the Laura Ingalls Wilder books, and
Read all
like
those.
A Secret Garden. So like all of those books are what kind of like shaped my childhood. As far as an adult, what is my favorite book? It would probably have to be something Stephen King. You know, either the Gunslinger series or
I love the Gunslinger series.
or It. Yeah, I mean, I know the clowns.
I can't do clowns.
But I love the books. I love old school, original Stephen King. I mean, he's kind of dialed it in the past 10 years or so, which I get. But
I was obsessed with Roald Dahl when I was a kid because I love just weird stories. I like a lot of sci-fi. I love like Ray Bradbury, Martian Chronicles, and stuff like that. But I also was like really into like historical fiction, like Leon Uris and Ken Follett, and just like I liked a lot of weird stuff. Just kind of random, like a whole, I don't know. I liked everything. But yeah, and I loved Stephen King too, and all kinds of horror. And Alfred Hitchcock had like a really cool Alfred Hitchcock Presents like series
collection
of books that was lots of like really dark, scary stories. So I like them all.
yeah, I love all of them. Let's see. What else is there?
Yeah. Let's see.
I've read that whole series of the Wizard of Oz books. Yeah, Frank Bonham.
Yeah, loves Wizard of Oz. Like that's one of my favorite movies. A lot of like my taste in books and movies comes from my mom. And so, you know, like I said, Wizard of Oz, like loved the book, loved the movie, and like she loved the movie when she was a kid. And she always told us this great story because
Did you read the whole series? There's a whole series. Yeah,
I did. The one that has like the boy in it and everything.
Yeah, they were awesome.
Anyway, like when she was a kid, you know, I think I don't know if they still do it, but you know how they would always have like Wizard of Oz. They would play it. Was it Easter that they would play it? Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
And so my mom, when she was a little kid, she used to watch it and loved it. And she would tell us a story about how she was watching it and then they were going somewhere. So she turned the TV off and she just assumed that when she came back, I mean, this would have been like in the late 50s, that when she came back, it was going to be back on. And she came back and obviously it wasn't. She was really sad about it.
I loved Nancy Drew. I loved the Hardy Boys. I actually loved the Cherry Ames ones. Those were from when my mom was little. It was precursor to Nancy Drew, actually. It was around the same time as Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew came out originally in the late 50s, early 60s, I believe. And so Cherry Ames was the nurse that was like the nurse detective type of thing. And my mom's a nurse, so I grew up like reading all my mom's old books too.
Remember the Return to Oz movie?
Yes.
Remember how good that was?
It is very good.
I loved it. It's super scary. It's got what's her name
strange.
from The Craft? What's that chick's name? Isn't it, or like she's got like a weird name. Is it like Famke or like she's got like a weird name.
I don't know.
Anyway,
it's a really good
a couple
movie.
more questions.
I'm not done with what I'm trying to
what are you
say.
trying
It's
to
a
say?
very
Sorry.
long, drawn out response or
Seriously?
comment on this movie.
I'm blinking.
No, when that movie came out,
She's blinking.
my mom took us to see the movie and I loved it. And then I remember that my parents got in like some big fight and my mom was like, I'm leaving. And so she took us with her and we went to the movie theater and watched it for the second time. And so I just remember, like, I hated it when my parents fought, but that time I was like, this is like the best thing that's ever happened in my life because we got to go see Return to Oz in the movie theater for the second time. So it was pretty awesome.
Let's see. What would be the title of your book of your life story? That's a good question too. I am actually writing a book. I've been writing it off and on for like the past 8 years. I haven't even opened it in a while. It's somewhat autobiographical, but partly about when I built the charities that I built in New England and stuff like that. So that's it's just a difficult topic. So every time I go back to it, it kind of puts me back in the space that I was in then. So it's taken me a while. It's not necessarily even a story of my life, but it'll be a story about a certain point in my life. So, I mean, I have my outline for that. I have a couple of chapters written and they just need to be fleshed out, but I need to really sit and do that at some point in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would call now.
What did I do with my phone?
I don't know.
I was going to look up something real quick, but because Alan was just asking what favorite podcast non-thrifting related. And I was going to say, you don't listen to podcasts.
I don't listen to podcasts. I listen to Kevin Smith's with her sometimes.
Yeah, well, he has a few, so I listen to a bunch of those. So like Hollywood Babylon's one of my favorite. My favorite murder. I do listen. I haven't listened to it in a couple of months, but it is one that I listen to. I do like that one, so I like true crime stuff.
We listened to that on. We were driving. We went to San Diego. I think we listened to a few different ones.
Yeah, probably. I like some political ones. I like The Weeds. I like a lot of storytelling ones. Like I like This American Life and I listen to a whole bunch of them, and none of them are thrifting related. So I listen to podcasts like every single day.
You listen to Rachel Maddow.
I listen to Rachel Maddow. With the Weeds is probably my favorite political one though, because it's super nerdy and dry. It's like they talk about like white papers and stuff like that. So they'll talk about like education in America and healthcare and different things like that, and go over like white
Katie's
papers
book, Tacos Without Pants.
I like it. That's a good one. I was gonna look at my actual podcast, but I don't know what I did. But somehow I lost my phone in the process of this podcast.
How about you, Lorna?
For the show, do you listen to podcasts at all?
Not too much.
No.
Mm-mm.
I love them. I like hearing people talk.
No, not really into them. When I'm like working and stuff, I usually just put on like a documentary of some sort or a YouTube show. And then if I really want to get work done, I don't actually use anything. Like sometimes I won't listen to anything.
I need silence too because it distracts me.
I sometimes just work like 7 hours with no TV, no music, no nothing, just straight.
Music distracts me. Well, TV distracts me less than music, if that makes sense. Because when it's music, I love music and I like rock and I like heavy music, and then I just feel like I want to go and like punch things and not sit.
Stop punching things.
So yeah.
Yeah, I'm that way, Teresa. I work best alone and in silence.
Yeah.
However, I've done really well being in their company.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Hey, Katie, guess how much I've listed so far?
you shut your mouth. I haven't got anything listed today because I was doing measurements and stuff, and she's over here like, I listed 12 items already. And I'm like, shut your mouth.
I've listed 37 items since I've been here.
Yeah. Okay, back to podcast really quick. If you want to check out, if you like history, one of my favorite ones is called The Dollop. And it's like they take a story from history, but it's always like really weird stories.
Oh, that
really
was the one. That
stories.
was the P.T. Barnum one we listened to.
Yes. And so it's like stuff that you don't know about, or like, they go really into depth and it's really funny. And it's like one guy, he has the whole story and then the other guy just kind of reacts to it. So it's like really, really funny. Like there was one, like, I think it was like maybe in Chicago or something. They had like a baseball game where they gave out free beer, and it was like, it turned into mayhem because people got way too drunk and it was like super violent, like crazy. But it's really, really, really good. All right. It's after 2:00. So
my eyes are, for some reason.
let's answer Karen's question really quick, because she has an actual thrifting question or shipping question. How do you ship stiletto or high heels, being cost efficient, possibly in a poly mailer, but then how do you protect the heel?
I don't ship them in a poly mailer, first of all, not with stilettos or high heels. I don't put them in a padded mailer either. The only way that I'm going to ship those is in a box, just because they can easily the heels can get snapped off if the package is mishandled. So I will put anything in a poly mailer or a bubble mailer if it fits, generally speaking. The only thing I won't put as far as shoes go is something with stiletto or kitten heels.
Mm-hmm. Teresa, here's a question that I saw before, but I think we should answer. What dumb accomplishment are you most proud of?
What dumb accomplishment?
Yeah.
I have accomplishments I'm proud of in general.
No, dumb ones.
When I was 8 years old, I entered a drawing contest for a Punky Brewster lookalike contest, and I won. And at the end of the Punky Brewster episode, they used to show pictures that kids would send in that they drew of Punky Brewster, and my picture was shown on like the national, like the show.
That's awesome.
So I love it. That's probably
not dumb. That's really cool.
I thought that was really cute when I was little.
That's cute.
I was so excited.
Mm-mm.
And I still have my award for that, by the way, my letter from NBC.
So mine, it's just kind of silly. When I was in 5th grade, so going back to books, when I was in 5th grade, our teacher set up this whole thing. It was like, okay, we're gonna try and read. It was like 3,000 pages as a class, 3,000 pages. And when we get to 3,000 pages, we'll have a Sunday party. So like an ice cream Sunday party.
Did you?
This was like on the Friday. Hold on, I'm trying to tell my story. Jeez, stealing my thunder. This was on a Friday. You had to like read pages, and then you'd like write out, like, I read 20 pages, and have your parents sign it and turn it in. So I went home, and thanks for like ruining the whole punchline of the story.
Sorry,
I went home and I read 3,000 pages over the weekend, came in on Monday, handed it in, and we got to have an ice cream Sunday party. I was pretty much the hero, but since this one ruined my story, I'm going to tell you my other one. So
Think about yours now.
Ditter's grocery store was the grocery store in Sublimity. Remember, it's like 2,000 people. Ditter's was founded in 1890 because I just remember because they had this big sign up. So in 1890 it was founded. It was handed down through the family through the years. It's not there anymore because the kids didn't want it. I wanted to keep doing it. But in 1990 they had their big centennial celebration, and they had like all these contests, like drawings in the grocery store, like a year's supply of ice cream, a year's supply of groceries, a year's supply of Pepsi. And so I went in every single day. Now remember, the Ditters, Yvonne and Delbert Ditter, knew me because my parents bought the house a year before I was born, so they knew me since I was a baby. So in 1990 I was 11 years old. Every day I'd go in and I'd fill out the little form with my name and everything every day, multiple times. I probably entered the contest a good 40 times. And I was entering mine into the year supply of Pepsi. And lo and behold, surprise, surprise, I won a year supply of Pepsi, which basically turned in, it was 16 cases of Pepsi. And so we had to go to the distributors and
16
How
or
is 16 cases?
it's like one
A
year, it's
year.
like one can a day.
Oh, okay.
And so we had to go to the distributors, and I chose Dr. Pepper, even though it's not made by Pepsi, it comes out of the same distributor. So we had to pay, it was like $12 or however much it was for, it's like 5 cents a can. We had to pay the deposit. And my dad forced me to get half diet Dr. Pepper. So I literally had, which is like, should an 11-year-old really be drinking diet Dr. Pepper? But I literally had 16 cases of Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper in my bedroom, and it lasted me about 3 months.
And you had it in your bedroom so your sister wouldn't steal it, I assume.
Well, no, I had it in my bedroom because
You
I
didn't
wanted
want to
to
share.
No, I had it in my bedroom because I wanted to be able to look upon my mountain of Dr. Pepper every day. And every day I put in my backpack a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper, and then I'd come to school and be like, "What's up, guys? Hey, you want a can? Hey, you want a can? Hey, you want a can?" And I was like living large for about 3 months, and then I was poor again. Dr. Pepper poor. But it was sweet while it lasted. Those were the days, guys. Those were the days.
I remember you telling me that story that you won a year's supply of soda, but
heard
I
this story
didn't
before,
know.
too.
I didn't know that part, or it was Dr. Pepper actually.
Oh, it was a good time. It's seriously, they tell the stories about people who win like the lottery, and then like a year later they're broke and they're worse off than they ever were before.
That was you.
That was me with that Dr. Pepper, man. I could have made it last.
Oh my
But
god!
I
How about
was,
you, Lorna?
yeah.
I don't have anything like that.
You don't have a silly
I never
accomplishment story?
entered contests. I don't.
You have something.
Nothing that cool.
You're
Like nothing.
You're like your 3rd grade spelling bee champion or something. Like, come on, you've got to have like a silly. That's like,
I was a huge runner when I was little. Believe it or not, I ran all the time.
got boobs.
Before I
That's
got
really
boobs,
what I
yeah.
wanted.
Actually ran a lot. Like I won first place in a 500 kid race, mile time 5:32 when I was like in 5th grade.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
Really fast.
I was a runner till I was about 8th grade. I ran every single day. My parents actually built a track on our 5-acre property. Like,
Teresa, you may need to buy a lottery ticket for Lorna because we're not going to be anywhere near the California state line. They don't sell lottery tickets in Vegas. So
Yeah.
I just want
you can't buy
pudding,
scratch tickets
Teresa.
or lottery tickets.
You can. I just need pudding and pizza. Just saying.
Pretty much. All right. It's almost 2:30 now. We've been going way too long.
We got lots of stuff to do.
We do have stuff to do. But anyway, thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us for Pants Off. Well, I keep saying, ever since Johnny wrote the song Pants Off Friday instead of No Pants Friday, I keep saying it wrong. And it makes me feel
No Pants Friday.
It makes me
no
feel a lot of
pants Friday.
shame.
No pants, no pants, no pants Friday.
That's a really good song. I like it. And you're really cute when you sing it. Anyway, thanks for coming to No Pants Friday. As I always say, if you're not in the Boss Facebook group, go ahead and join us. The link is down below. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. And go ahead and hit the little notification bell to make sure that you are getting notified when new content comes out. We didn't even really talk about it, but all day yesterday we went to all 6 of the savers. And so I did shoot video of that. I'll probably put that up sometime tomorrow for a Let's Go Sourcing video with some fun stuff. You'll get to see some of the highlights of what we found. And then on Sunday's show, Sunday Live Haul, Lorna's still going to be here. So we will show the highlights of the stuff that we found
We all
during our
got some
sourcing.
really great stuff.
It was
Yeah.
crazy, you guys. We went we were being super picky because for one thing, we had to be able to fit everything into one vehicle. But we were also trying to just go really fast because you can't really take too much time if you're going to hit all 6. But every single store, we all 3 found really
Great
cool stuff. Like we were excited about every single stop. So
This trip was way better than last trip for me.
And
yeah.
you spent a third of what you spent last time.
Oh yeah, like way less than I spent
their
last
last
time.
trip, she found a lot of like bread and butter items, but this trip she found a lot of like higher value stuff.
Somebody asked earlier, it might have even been Teresa, how much did we all spend yesterday? So we went to 6 Saver stores. Lorna spent,
180.
I spent $320. Did I say it
You
was?
said 189. You said like 325.
$325.
And I did like 200 something. There's a picture on Instagram where it's like 740, I think, altogether.
Total.
And we had the car packed. So
I had stuff on top
Yeah.
of me, falling on me. Yep.
they were both holding stuff in their laps,
Yep.
like while we're driving. So anyway, we found a lot of really cool stuff. I think we are going to hit like one thrift store today.
We have to. It is
because it's
national.
National Thrift Store Day. Or Thrift Day or whatever they call it. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. If you could go ahead and give us a thumbs up on your way out the door, that would be awesome. I really appreciate you coming and watching us. And again, be on the lookout for that sourcing video and come and join us on Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for the Sunday live ball because we got lots of fun stuff to share with you guys.
We did.
So, but thanks.
Thanks for all the super chats and neat participation.
Yeah, for sure. Super chat. Would you like to say goodbye to the audience? You're like, no, I will not say anything.
She's blinking. She's blinking.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Awesome.